In this lesson, I will review some of the tools presented in my other program, Habits and Happiness program, and introduce few ideas that you can implement to become even more mindful. More importantly, in this lecture, we are going to create a 30-day challenge for everyone willing to give a mindfulness a try. You will pick the area of your life where you want to become more mindful, pick a tool we introduced here, and use some of the habit secrets to be able to implement mindfulness technique in your life. So for everyone completing the course and the 30-day challenge, I will offer a great bonus. Free, absolutely free, 30 minutes one-on-one coaching, which is valued at $150. In these sessions, there will be no sales, but pure coaching to help you become more mindful and therefore improve your life, increase happiness, and improve your overall well-being. I hope I got your attention. So let's work on our 30-day mindfulness habit challenge. Before we start talking about this challenge, why 30 days and what this is all about? Well, you probably know that one of the area of my research is really habits. How to create them, how to keep them, what tools we can use to help us introduce new habits, what tools we can use to change our existing habits, and so on. 30 days comes from how long does it really take to establish a new habit? Most of the research shows that to create a new habit, to create this new neural pathway or replace the existing one with a new one, it takes about 21 days. Some research says 30 days. In my studying and doing a lot of research, I highly recommend that you do this for 30 days and 30 days in a row, meaning that if you decided to do every day, then it's a 30-day habit challenge. If you decide to do this 5 days a week, then it's 5 days a week, and it's a 30 days, right? 30 times, if you will. And then if you decide to do 30 days in a row, and then you skip 5 days, you start from the beginning. You start from day one. So in one of the lectures in this program, we already covered mindfulness versus mindlessness and how actually a knowledge on habits can help us become even more mindful. Here, I'm going to give you a few tools that you can use while establishing what I call the mindfulness habits. And remember that habits are really mindless. Hope this doesn't confuse you too much. If it does, please go back to another lecture comparing mindfulness and mindlessness. So, here are the 7 things, 7, not 8, 7 things, 7 secrets that I recommend in order to establish your mindfulness habits that you need to do. Number 1 is belief. You have to really believe that you can become more mindful. Now, why am I saying this? It is because there is a lot of research, and particular research by Dr. Bruce Lipton, who shows that when we truly believe in something, in this case, we do believe that we are going to establish mindfulness habit, and now we do believe that we can make this 30-day challenge, is that when we do, our body all the way down to the cell level changes. So we're talking about a physical change, our body, our cell change once we believe. So yes, that is the secret number 1. You must believe you can establish this mindfulness habit, and now we're talking about also doing this for 30 days. Number 2 is what I call the smile habit. Now, why smile habit has to do with the mindfulness? You see, when we smile, when we physically make this move of smiling, we get a chemical called dopamine. We get a happy chemical. We actually, just by making that smile, we create a happy chemical in our body. And I do this often. I do this in I call it Wake Up with a Smile habit. And some of you that read my book, you'll see it there. So basically, I talk about how it is important to start your day with a smile and how you can schedule that smile in the morning as soon as you hear the alarm. But that is another habit that you can, again, pick up in my other programs in my book. But what is really important is to smile more. Let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is what Dr. Carl Weck calls small wins. You see, most of us, we always want to establish some big goals, which is good, but the big goal needs to be broken down into small goals. So if we're talking about 30 days habit, don't get overwhelmed about, oh, I got to do this for 30 days. Just think about today. Just think about today, or if you're starting tomorrow, think about tomorrow, and then you pick a tool, and maybe that day you will eat mindfully, and you'll spend 5 minutes with your food, and that's all it takes. So that is the small wins. Just think about doing a small thing, and as you do, again, you're going to get some dopamine. Your brain is going to say, well, good job, buddy. I can help you do this tomorrow. Again, small wins, tiny. Number 4, I want to tell a little bit about willpower. So there is a good news and there is a bad news. We all have actually limited the number of willpower, right? It's a bad news, I guess. But the good news is there are ways that we can increase it. So in order to increase your willpower, you can do a couple of things. You can basically do the things that you have never done before. I might have shared this in another lecture, but basically you can brush your teeth with a non-dominant hand. Non-dominant hand in my case. And that, my friends, will increase your willpower. You can eat a food you have never done before, and that will increase your willpower. You can take the stairs instead of taking the elevators for 30 days, and that, or escalators, and that, my friends, will increase your willpower. So doing something you have never done before will create a new neural pathway and increase the willpower. Number 5, the activation energy, and what I call the 20, actually what Dr. Sean Aker calls the 20-second rule. So what's the activation energy? Anything we do needs that little spark. Just like when you turn on the car engine, needs a little spark to get started. That's all it takes, right? So you, my friends, need to have that little activation energy to activate something, right? If you want to watch less TV and your TV is always on, it's not going to work, right? A little bit activation energy, turn the TV off, move the remote away from it. So you have to give it a little spark. And also, it's this 20-second rule. So you want to establish mindfulness habit of, let's say, you want to practice yoga. So what you want to do is, if just in case that you want to have a different clothes for yoga, or you want to establish exercise habit, you want to make sure that your yoga clothes, if you will, is just next to your bed if you're doing that first thing in the morning. So as soon as you wake up, your clothes, equipment is right there, you put it on, and you can start your yoga exercise. So make it 20 seconds closer to you if you want to establish that mindfulness habit, and make it 20 seconds away from you if you don't want to do this, to do some habits, such as, again, not a mindfulness, but habit, let's say that you eat a lot of snacks, right? So move that snack 20 seconds away from you, put it in the basement. Ideally don't buy it, but if it's home, make sure it's not on your kitchen table or dining room table so that you can access it anytime. Number 6 is the accountability partner and support group. Ton of research shows that when we have accountability partner, when we have someone who either has done what we want to do and or who's certainly willing also to do what we want to do, it will increase the chance of our success. So if you can, if you have a friend or your partner has already done some mindfulness exercise and habits, that person can help you establish your own mindfulness habit. And if you are somebody who likes support group, then going to some mindfulness or a group, if you will, can help you establish your mindfulness habit. And number 7, very, very important, after you have all these tools, is to make an announcement. To make an announcement, and just please stop this recording now and go ahead, make your announcements. Make your announcement, right? Stop the lecture, and make an announcement. Call a friend, go on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, I don't care. Call people, send them mail, send them email, make as many announcements as you can, and tell everyone that you are taking a 30-day mindfulness habit challenge. Go ahead. If you haven't done so already, go ahead. Tell everyone you're taking this 30-day mindfulness habit challenge. By the way, you can download the 30-day habit challenge card and use it to track your progress. I have a lot of individuals who I coach, and they just love this card. They love the idea that they can do the little checkbox, and then they can see how many times they have done it or how many times they missed it. And it's really a great motivational tool. And keep it somewhere next to you by your bed or somewhere that you cannot miss. Have a pen ready and just do that little bit check mark. And please pick any tool we discussed in this program. It really doesn't matter what you pick. You might want to do mindful walking, mindful breathing, yoga, mindful driving, mindful eating, spending time in nature. As long as you commit to take this 30-day mindful challenge. Have fun, truly enjoy this mindfulness challenge. And just want to say at the end that it was really, truly a great having you in this program. I'm truly honored that you gave me the opportunity to share my mindfulness knowledge with you. And this, my friends, is to you and your mindful life.